The National Youth Conference was announced by the president during his speech on October 1st, 2024. It was initially slated for February of this year, but the planning committee was eventually inaugurated on March the 10th, 2025. Since then, we barely have heard anything much about the Youth Confab. If we were to go on just how everything around the confab has been playing out, what would you think that says about how the Tinubu administration regards Nigerian youth?
There is complete disregard to every aspect of the nation. It's not just the youth. And then again, if even they go ahead with implementing the youth conference, it will only end up being another APC youth rally, because the government has its way of, politicizing whatever they do. And then the devil will be in the detail in terms of implementation of whatever are the recommendations that may even come out from Nigerian youths. So it is one thing to propose a conference and another thing to have the sincerity of political will to follow through with whatever will be the genuine fallout of that, meeting. Look, let us be honest and sincere with ourselves and be very straight. Nigeria does not need another youth conference. Everybody that is in Nigeria today, whether those in power and out of power, know the problems that we are facing. The president has certain reports that are at his disposal. There is a 2014 National Conference report that was put together by the Jonathan administration. During the Labour Congress protest last year for minimum wage increase, the president came out with the implementation of a Stephen Oronsaye report that has become the rush hour report for every Nigerian government that finds itself in a difficult position. What happened with the implementation of Oronsaye report? There is a Justice Uwe's panel on electoral reform that the federal government also has access to. What is happening with all these reforms? So what gives us the guarantee that the youth conference will become the silver bullet? Nigerian politicians are not sincere in purpose with what they are doing. And the Nigerian youth must rise above that occasion and become very strategic, because guess what? Nigerian leaders may not know how to deliver good governance, but it doesn't mean they do not know corruption. The system you seek to change has been in place for more than 60 years. Nigeria is almost an open crime scene. So you must be strategic. Gathering people for a political charade and funfair would not solve the issues. We must decide what we believe that are the solutions and then implement it, and not the other way around. Your oppressors calling you to come and sit down to discuss. I will not be part of that. The question is, what is the solution and how do we approach this solution? We have over time decided to take on this knee-jerk reaction to, protest and mass protest. Whenever something comes up, hit the streets and make a demand. But over time, we have seen that it has been proven not to be very effective, because the government will come out and tell you, okay, is it end bad governance? Don't worry, we'll release the cost of rice, we will release bags of rice to you and all of that. And then everybody goes in. And there is also a bad side, because there is protest fatigue. When you call out people for a protest and then it does not meet the target, the danger in it is that you fall short of getting that kind of mass support in a second call. That was what happened with NSAS. Now, what the call for Nigerians will be, every sector in Nigeria is in trouble. The only systems that are doing well is corruption and criminality. Travel through Abuja and Lagos, you will see placards of President Tinubu talking about 2027. So Nigerians will now have to decide what are our problems and what is the first step to beginning our findings or solutions, because you can't solve all. We take on one that gives you the foundation to begin to change others. That is where the Nigerian youth conversation must be centered on at this point. The pressure that needs to be applied at this point will be maximum civil pressure on the National Assembly to amend the Electoral Act, and Nigerians guarantee that there should be free, fair and credible elections in 2027. Other than that, if you look at the permutations that are going on, a few days ago, the Minister for FCT held a media conference where he boastfully said that Peter Obi cannot win. In Nigeria, it is not about the best. If you look at the trend, the arrogance of the ruling party is in the fact that they know that there is disenfranchisement of the people. The democratization of disenfranchisement. Without your vote or not, we are going to come back. That is why when you have failed in the first 2 years, you are talking about a second term. So now Nigerians will go, but when you talk about electoral reforms, a lot of Nigerians are scared. And what we fail to understand is this. INEC and the National Assembly already presented a caveat, but it was very sinister. The Electoral Act provided for electronic transmission of results, but it made it optional for INEC. That section 65 that says the presiding officer at the polling unit can transmit results in a manner chosen by INEC must be taken out and replaced with mandatory. But my plea and my call, what I have been seeking and becoming almost a broken record, is that we must be strategic. If you go on social media, you hear certain persons begin to tell you about revolution now, my uncle Showore, who I so much respect. The question you will ask yourself is, if there is a revolution today, and for example, the president leaves, who takes over? That is the Vice President Shetima. The third in succession is Akpabio. Or you want to go through the military route. And even when there is a total removal of, you must still have an electoral process where somebody who has the legitimacy to rule or lead will be brought in. So if you look at our entire dilemma, it boils back to an electoral process. Because that is the only way we can begin to unravel this. When everybody in Nigeria begins to sing about INEC and elections, they will get the point. President Tinubu knows. Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, knows. Look, forget about anything economy. Don't talk about, if President Tinubu does not want to fix inflation, let him not fix. If he doesn't want to fix insecurity, let him not fix.
Let's start.
Get a means to hold him accountable in 2027 and see. Let a politician know that this system can bring me in and this system can take me out. Then go there and don't deliver.